Alright, welcome to part 5 of the 2-month recap here at Zero Effort Review. Time to talk about video games! So, I played a couple video games, obviously, the past couple months, along with all the other media I've consumed. What are some of the highlights? Well, got a little list right here. First off, finished off Tales from the Borderlands. One of the latest creations from Telltale Studios, and yeah, it was pretty rad. I liked it a lot. I'm a Borderlands fan, so I'm susceptible to it. But yeah, it was pretty good. For those of you that have not played the Borderlands games at all, it's kind of hard for me to say go and play this game if you don't know Borderlands at all, because it ties into the story of the series pretty tightly, as opposed to telling its own tale that happens to take place in the same universe. It ties into the main story pretty concrete. So yeah, I can't. It's it's not like the other Telltale games where like you don't have to know Fables to play The Wolf Among Us. If you do, you get a bit more out of it, but you don't have to know it. You don't have to have read the Walking Dead comics or watched the Walking Dead TV show to play Telltale's Walking Dead game. But again, bonus points if you have, because you get little references and stuff to other stuff in the universe. This is the first of their games that I've played where I feel like you would be kind of confused as to what's going on if you hadn't at least played Borderlands 2 minimum, beforehand. So but still, like I said, it's still a Telltale game. It's still really great, on that front. It's the funniest Telltale game by a long stretch, which kind of comes with the neighborhood of being a Borderlands game. Humor being subjective, of course. But yeah, it's just a really fun game. I enjoyed it, and I would like to. I kind of hope they make a sequel to it, because I like to see more adventures with these characters. Or hopefully they take some of these characters and they get put in future Borderlands games. Either way, it's just really sharp stuff. Next, kind of going along with one of the other parts, the Dragon Ball part I made earlier, for part 3, Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I picked it up on sale over the holidays, and I figured I'd give it a shot, because I heard the story was pretty good, and it's a pretty fun game. And thus it was. It's pretty fun. It is a damn fun game. It's really fun creating your own characters. The story is great. It's really cool to see an original story in a Dragon Ball game. That doesn't feel hackneyed or whatever. It still does the same. I like the fact that it does the whole thing that Dragon Ball games, or anime games are for sport, but Dragon Ball in particular, where it just retells the story of the series, but shows like the highlights. And this game does that too, but because of the nature of the story, because it involves time travel and someone trying to alter Dragon Ball history, you get these really interesting takes on it. Seeing how history is trying to be changed, and your created character helping prevent those changes and teaming up with Goku and Gohan and Piccolo and all the others. So it's really interesting. And the new characters that they introduce are really cool. I like them. I'm looking forward to see more of them. And the gameplay style is pretty solid. It doesn't really play like the other games and in the series. Closest I can think of that comes to playing like is probably the Budokai Tenkaichi games from back near the end of the PS2 cycle. which I'm down with because I love the way those games played. It's not, but it's not as deep as those. The controls are a little limiting. I think they could have done that. They would have wanted to add a little bit more depth to the combat. But other than that, yeah, fun game. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, totally recommend it. Next, Transformers Devastation. I just finished this recently. This one's the simplest one to talk about. It's a Transformers beat 'em up game developed by Platinum. So it's a solid game, all told. I would recommend buying it personally. I know I would buy it anyways. Just because, it's too short, and the replay value I feel is very minimal. But it's a great looking game. It controls well. The story is good enough. It's not an amazing story. The voice acting is really good. Pretty much the production values are pretty solid throughout. Yeah, it's a solid game. Nothing really objectionable about it outside of, again, short length and lack of replayability. That to me makes it a not buy it, but definitely check it out if you get the chance. And if this type of game is up your alley, maybe go ahead and buy it. But like that's not really my thing. I just think it lacks replay value personally, but that's me. And then, the big enchilada on this list for me, the Mass Effect trilogy. Yeah, all three of them. Because I never played 3. I played the first 2. 2 turned me off on the series, and I never played 3. But I had a chance to get 2 and 3, and for free. And 1 was on sale a few back during Black Friday on Xbox Live for like $4. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. Pick it up. I'll play through the trilogy as it was intended to be played and see how I like it. And first off, I feel so dumb for thinking Mass Effect 2 was worse than Mass Effect 1. For as long as it did. Nah. Mass Effect 2 streamlines so much stuff. It's a superior game in terms of design. So I feel dumb for thinking that now. But yeah, the story's pretty alright. As far as a choose your own adventure type game like this goes, it's pretty cool, I guess. Combat's fine for the most part. Somewhat limiting, but for the most part fine. Yeah, it's pretty alright series all told. I would dog on the ending of Mass Effect 3 like a lot of people have, but the only reason for me to dog on it is because I chose wrong. I chose to get a crappy ending on my own and didn't really realize it. So I'm not going to say that the ending sucks, because it sucks. It's like, I kind of chose my path to get a crappy ending, without realizing it. So, yeah. I'm probably gonna go back and replay it, in a few times, just in the different ways you can replay the series. So, it's definitely high on the replay value. Production values are good, all that stuff. It's pretty good. I don't really understand why people enjoy it as much as they do. I don't enjoy it as much as some people do. I'm not super invested in the lore or anything like that, but yeah, I see why people dig it as much as they do, and why they got so mad when the third one came out and had a really crap ending. But yeah, that's all the video games I've played the past 2 months. At least with any heavy investment. Obviously you play certain games that, it's like, oh, hey, I'll play this for a little bit, just because. Those are what I've put a major time into over the past 2 months. So that's the video game part of the catch up. And I'll see you guys for part 6 later.